Peace and blessings, early birds. This is the day the Lord has made. Even on this December 21st, 2022, last couple of Wednesdays before the new year. And for this, we give God praise. We encounter through BiblePlan.org that today we're in Revelation chapter 13 and then Esther chapters 3 through 5. We see the audacity of empire, short lived, with curtailed impact in the presence of an almighty and all-present God, a God who gives us assurance of God's presence even when it's hard to see. The imagery of the beasts and the dragons, the terrors by day and the horrors by night, mitigated by hope and faith in a God who never, never will leave us, who says ultimately, I am with you. I encourage you to read the chapter 13 as you see the imagery that John reflects on from Old Testament prophetic writ, Daniel and perhaps Ezekiel, the various imaging or imagery that reflects the symbols of sadistic sources and chaotic powers that have term limits, so to speak, short shelf lives. God is still omnipotent and eternal, but these powers have a certain period. And while they test the very believers who are witnesses, we're called to be strong in the power of the Lord and to be determined in spite of everything, who we are and whose we are. And although one of the ironic books in the Bible in Esther, where God's name is not even mentioned one time, we know God is present in the midst of human history. In the midst of challenging circumstances, God is evident and real and works in the midst of everything to turn the plans and the wicked schemes of the enemy against themselves. Haman, the hater, impaled on the very pole that he set up for Mordecai. You better be careful messing with God's people. Gotta turn God's plans around on you in a moment. And for those of us who are being persecuted, please remember and please know, as Isaiah 54:17 reminds us, that no weapon formed against you will prosper, and every tongue that rises up against you, you will condemn. And so in Jesus' name, I agree with you that the weapons that have been formed against you will turn on those who have put them against you, and that God will give you victory in the midst of all of the challenges that you face, that you will be encouraged and empowered and inspired today with the realization that no matter what beast or horrors or terrors rise up against you, whether it's somebody on your job or circumstances with respect to your living conditions, those beasts and those bad actors, whether it's people waging wars or being violent or whatever it might be, that God gives you the assurance and the victory over fear, and that God make you more than a conqueror, that you walk in the assurance of God's presence with you, and that God continues to keep you in Jesus' name. Blessings and grace, early birds. As you experience the word, I encourage you to read Revelation 13 and Esther 3 through 5. You will be encouraged and empowered, for God is a rewarder of those who diligently seek the Lord. I love you. God bless you. Peace.